Hello there, how y'all doing? So it's Saturday, the day after the 4th of July, and I am here just a couple days late on my make for this hashtag faith-filled collaging 2025. And this is a series that was created by AnaG over at Making Joyful Journals and Angela at Junk Journal Junction. And so today is July the 5th, but the make that we had would have been on Wednesday, and that was July the 2nd. And what we need for scripture today is going to be Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27. Our focal point is a lantern. The color we're using is peach. We're also using sheet music, and the paper texture is acetate. Okay, so that's what we have for this make today. And so I'm going to move all of my little playthings around a little bit. This is the scripture. This is some images that we have. And I pulled all these stickers. I'm not sure what I'm going to use exactly because, again, this is collaging. So sometimes it can be a little bit challenging in what you want to use and how you want to use it. I also have this piece of music paper here and a strip of music paper here. So I might be collaging some things together. And I have this I have two things for my peach paper that I'm not sure what I want to use. I have this, and then I pulled also two sheets. I have this sheet, and it has, some faux writing, some flowers, it's a collaged piece of just regular copyright paper of scrapbooking paper. And I also pulled another one. Let me pull that one out of this book. I stacked them all together so that they can stay neat and flat. Okay, this is one, but it's a little bit darker than peach, so I don't want to use that one really. I have all these offcuts, but we're collaging, right? So this is what I'm looking at, and I said, well, let's just get started, and then we'll see. There's one more of this peach paper. Let me see, did I put it back in the sleeve it came from? I might have, but it has some music page already collaged into the page. That's not it. I already pulled that one. It's a different one, but it looks like that a little bit. Let's see. I think I slid it back up into where I pulled it from, but it's already pulled out. So let's see. And if I sound a little tired, I am. Yesterday was the 4th of July, and we were having a kind of, not a block party cookout, but a few neighbors got together to do a thing on yesterday, and I started kind of late with my cooking. This is the page, but one of these are already pulled out. That's not it. So let me go back up here where I thought I left it in this pile. Let's see. These are already pulled, but when I was flipping, I didn't see it. So I said, okay, let's see if I slid it back in its place. But I clearly didn't find it in its place. And I didn't find it here either. But I know I pulled it. Somebody's playing a trick on me. I'm not sure who it is. Somebody's playing a trick. Okay? But we do see that we have plenty of the paper. But I don't want to pull a second one out. So until I find it, we're just going to set this off to the side. Now we have these three. I'm not sure. This one was the first choice. because it has this, and this is what I'm going to use as my backdrop, right? So this is just out of a magazine out of a magazine book, but this is, just, I thought it was good for the focal image, which is a lantern, because this says it's just heartbreaking, right? So I was thinking of what I could use to put with that. So maybe I'll just use the paper that I have, because you know what? I know I pulled the piece. Here it is, right here. Look at that. It was what I want to say, slinking out of, you know how you stack the papers together, then when you go to feel them, they're smooth, but it's one sticking out, right? And then I found it. Why I couldn't find it at first? Because somebody was playing a trick on me. But I know I pulled it, so there you go. We have that, and let's get started, okay? So do you see how here we have some text and we have some music over here, and it's just, all over the page, right? So that's why I put this one back, because while it has text, and I was looking at how this is newspaper, and you can see the puzzle of a newspaper and everything, and I was like, well, this might be good to put as a type of border. But then I kept flipping, and I said, well, here's peach, and it has the music sheet, and it has some text, although the text is in here and here and here. So I was trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. So we'll move these other pages, we'll start gluing down, and I also have this. So we're going to look at all of it and see what becomes. For acetate, I don't have any. I have these kinds of pieces of plastic, right, that something came in at some point, and that's what I'm going to use, because you can use what you have if you don't have what's called in the make. So there we go. We're going to use this. I'm not sure how much, but let's just cut it open, and we'll see how we can incorporate a piece of this for our acetate, okay? All right, so we're going to move that, and we're going to open to our next page, which is here. All right, so this is the page we're working on, and I'm going to glue this whole magazine page down to it as like a backdrop, okay? Let's come on across here and glue this all down. We have to make sure we keep a space or add a piece of paper to put in our scripture, because there won't be a place to write it on here. All right, let me just cut this edge off a little bit so it can be right up against the spine of the book. All right, so we can put this here, full page, like so. It's gonna cut him off a little bit. I don't want to cut him off. So let's hurry up and take this up. Okay, I don't want to cut him off. So let's work from this side. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Now we have that. Okay, and then we'll cut this piece off this bottom so that it's right with the book page. I love my new scissors. They're long and sharp. I got them from Temu, a 3-pack of them. 3-pack. This is a medium. These are extra long. And I marked it with whiteout so that I'm not confused by what we're using. And this is a small one, like for fussy cutting. So this was like, I think $6 or something like that. Five something for all three. So these are pretty cool. My daughter said yesterday, these some good shanks. I said, girl. So here we go. We have this, and I don't think I need to trim any of that, but I'm going to take a small piece of this. Hopefully I won't disrupt the spine trying to get it. I should have cut it first, but I didn't do it. So we just have to go with what we have. We don't have to cut hard. Just come on through. All right, we got that. Not too bad. Okay, especially since I'm going to add some of this to it. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, that has the music page there. So maybe we will cut, I don't want to cut too much of it, which was my problem in the beginning, because it's going to cut up this, cover up that. I don't want to cover that. So let's go this way. Yes, music page there. I'm going to cut from here. Okay, I can see. I'm going to just cut right here. Right here, like so. I don't know how much that is, but I'm just cutting a thin piece of it, as you can see. Okay. Won't really do the measuring thing around here, but we have a ruler. In case somebody want to know, maybe it's a 1/2 inch. It's a little more than a 1/2 inch, so whatever it is, it's right here. I'm not good at measurement, y'all, so it doesn't really matter, right? So we're right here. If it were a 1/2 inch, it's just a wee bit more, but not 3/4. Okay, 3/4 will be right here. So we're not there yet because we have that much left. All right. So I know some people like measurement, but that was never my good part in school. So we leave those things to the professionals. Okay. All right. Then we're going to cut this about right here. Like so. I'm thinking I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue here just so it can make sure it stays in here. I mean, it's still thin like regular copy paper, but I just want to make sure that it's okay. All right, because sometimes when it's up against the spine of the book, opening and closing the pages and all of that, it might want to buck against that. So that's the reason I'm using a little bit of the wet glue, just a little bit. And we'll put that right down in here real good. And it's okay if it's not totally covering the bottom, because I'm going to first cut a piece of this. Y'all see all of this is happening. It's not that I have to cut it, but I don't want to take any of the word heartbreaking off of the magazine paper. Okay. I'm just going slow. Hope it's even enough. It's okay. Like that. Alright, and then I'm going to get a piece of this plastic that acts like my piece of acetate. Okay? And I'm going to just put it right here. That's where I'm going to put it, right there. How much am I going to use? Maybe just this much. Just hold it still and slide it. And then we have this. And we can just put this right up under here. Okay? And that's okay just like that. Alright, so put a piece here of this glue. We'll come back up here and down here a little bit. And I want to put that on there. Let's see, a slide. Let me cut this little ragged edge off. Well, it's not going to be that much there, so we'll just wait 1 second. Put this right in there, and then put a little bit on the top so that the paper can stick to it. Okay, and then putting this pen in here is always a challenge. All right, and then we'll put this and press. Okay, it's coming out. All right, so we got that. And again, we have music page showing there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut another piece of this, only a little bit thicker, so that it matches this. We're going to go this way. Let's see how much I want. Maybe, yeah, maybe to the edge of this. Okay, it's kind of a guideline for me. And then just cut this across this way. Okay, now we're finished with this piece, and I'm going to add this one here, like that. I'm just trying to see, should I trim some of this back, or do I want to leave that? I'm not sure. Let me just take a piece of this off, but I'm going to cut it in a different angle if I can. Let's turn the book, because that might be easier since I have a fan, a small desk fan blowing here. So I'm going to cut this maybe here, like this. Okay, and then cut this one that way, so it's kind of like a V shape, almost making an arrow kind of thing is where I'm at with that thought. All right, I'm trying to hold it so I can do this. Okay, and it's not all that straight, but it's okay. Maybe we'll come one more time. And try to straighten it out a little teeny bit. There you go. That's good enough. It's like an arrow now. Okay, and then maybe I can put one of my stickers on here. Now, what kind of sticker I want to use? I have this. That is a lantern, right? And then we have some in our play pages that are images that came with this series. Let's see where they are. Right here. I have three things that I'm thinking of, okay, with this. So, where's that thing that just fell? Forever. Okay, now, put these away. And this is a sticker, and I was thinking which one of these I might want to use. I think I'm going to take Hope. I think I'm going to take Hope and use it as a tab. That's what I was thinking about. I still need to add this piece at the bottom, but I was thinking, do I want to cut some of it? I think I'm going to take a piece off. I think I am. Just so I won't bump up against the plastic piece of acetate, faux acetate. That's what we're going to call it, faux acetate, okay? We're going to put this on here before I use my, before I use that tab piece, because then I can see what the bottom of this is going to look like before I consider a thing, okay? Put this on here, and then let's add this. Pop one of them off with my nail. Okay, we'll put it right back on, like so. Okay, and then we'll put this right here. Put it right up against this. Fold it down into the crease. And now this is almost like a frame. I hope y'all can't hear that music. I hope y'all can't. My son got that music on. There's no way for me to tell him. I was tapping on the floor with my scissor. Hopefully he turned it down so he might understand. Because you know, even though you may not be able to hear it, when YouTube is, I'm around this a little bit, when YouTube is screening your video as it's uploading, they be checking for issues and all things. And then they may give me a strike. I don't want no strikes, okay? He didn't know I could hear it, but I can hear it. So now I might think, I don't know if I want to put this here. I still like the idea of it right there. So that's where I'm going to put this. I'm just trim it out a little bit. Put this here on this little arrow piece. I'm trying not to cut all of the edging off because it is nice and, you know, like inked. I can ink it again, but it's already there. So I was trying not to cut it off and just use it in that way. I should have glued it to this first because I was thinking of the back of it is going to be white and I don't want it to be white. So we'll just do double work, okay? Double work is sometimes what you got to do. So I'm just going to put it on here like this and then let that dry for a second. And while that's drying, we'll figure out where we want to use a lantern. Do we want this blue one? I think that's pretty. I might keep this one off to the side. I like this one. So let's go with this while this is drying. And set it over here near this fan. And let's cut this out a little bit. Let's use the shorter scissor. Maybe it'll give me a little bit of focus. A little bit more. Okay. And then we can apply this to the page. And then I gotta see where I'm gonna put the scripture. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put that at yet. These don't seem as sharp as, I mean, they're sharp, I'm sure, but they seem to be bending the paper. I'm not sure what's going on right there. I don't want to mess this up. So we'll just go here and get this as clean as we can get it. Okay. And then plop it right down near the top of the page, I think. Maybe I might put it on the acetate, the faux acetate, okay? I looked it up to see what is acetate, and Google said it's mostly used in crafting, and it's a clear transparency type of paper, and it looked, you know, like to me like vellum, but I guess it's thinner And I was thinking, well, where are my, I have some plastic sheet covers. There's like a clip-in divider page for a notebook. And I was thinking, well, where's that? And I couldn't think of it. So I said, just use some of this plastic that you have, because I've been saving it forever. And they said it's basically used for like window projects. I said, yep. Well, then let me use this plastic. It'll be fine. Okay? It'll be fine. Just use what you have, and it's okay. I don't want to try to do that because this blade is too short. I mean, too long. And they'll cut that little loop all the way off. That's okay, I guess. We'll do that. And I'm thinking, maybe I'll put this here. Right there. Maybe right there. Or even right here. Yeah. I think right here maybe. Let's see. Do we like it right there? It looks a little bit out of focus. Maybe here. Yeah, I think right there is good. So we could have used some regular glue stick, but we'll make sure this stays down real good. Okay? And then we'll put this right here. Just like that. Okay? And, okay, I'm going to use this. Let's cut this again, put this in here. Oh boy, it's hard to put this in here. I say it in every video. Okay. And so now we have this, and it'll have the backing of the same scrapbooking paper that we used as our frame or partial frame. And I'm not going to put any of that frame up the top because I want to see the little boy who's laying down looking at this newspaper. Okay? Because maybe he's reading the article or about to read it. Okay, we're just going to get some ink and clear up all these white edges like this. Okay, and just like that, that's better. We'll put a little bit on here for the back. Okay, and then I'm going to write a word on here. I'm going to write a word on here. And I'm going to write the word light. Okay, just so it's something on the back. And we want to put this on here, and I hope that it will stick and stay and not come off. I might add a staple to it. Just to make sure it sticks and stays. Okay? Just like that. Slide it off. Okay. That makes that easier to pick up. Where's my little stapler? And we'll just put a small staple right underneath, right there. And that's okay, just like that. And then we have this word on here, and that's okay too. Now we have that. Okay, then I have that other piece of music sheet. Not that I really need to use it, but I can use these little pieces right here. I can use these little ones. Alright, and then maybe we'll just add this somewhere. I don't know. Do I want it there? That could work a little bit. It could. It could also work over here too. But I don't want to take too much of the peach out. We need the peach to stay. Okay. Can't lift that because I wet glued it. Yeah. I'm going to use it right here. Okay. And then, if I can slide it, it might work. Okay. And then we'll have that. And I just want to kind of round it off. Alright, I'll be here. I'll be here and here. And I need to just take this like that. Let's see, can we add that in there? Alright. Yeah, that can work. And then we'll just leave this here on the edge of this page here. Not that we needed it, but just to add another little piece of something there. All right. Okay. I think that's about it right there. And then we're going to add our scripture, and we are done. Okay? Our scripture can actually go on here. I can write it right there. Excuse me. I'm going to get my orange gel marker, or gel pen, I should say. This is not a marker. And did I ask you to roll down there? No, I did not. No, I did not. I am looking. Every time this wants to come into the whole picture. We don't need you up here. We just need what we're looking for. It's right here. Okay. All right, and then I will add the scripture. And I did have this B thingy, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. So the stickers I had, I wanted to add him because I thought he was cute. I thought he looks like a gnome knight. And the yellow gave him the light, right? So I was thinking about that. Maybe we'll still put him here. Let's add him here because I thought he was cool. And I have a bee that kind of was like him too, in a sense, you know. I don't know. I just thought maybe, and I started pulling all these other sunflower type stickers, and I wasn't sure. Should I use them? But I don't see a way to put them all into my page right now, so we're not going to try to, because basically I think it's finished. Now this white around here almost looks good instead of inking it, but I was thinking, should I ink it? Let's just try a little piece. Oh, that's not too bad. We can just tone it down, but don't add no extra ink, because the white actually makes it, pop a little bit. So I don't want it to be all one color against his night uniform, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's put him on here. All right, put him right here in the corner. I just thought he was cool here in this page. Okay? And then this is the bee that I had. See how he has on his army hat? That's what I call it, like an army helmet. He looks like a sergeant bee, but his wings look like light to me. So that's why I was looking at these two, and I took this out because I was going to take Be Happy off and just put Be the Light, which is why I added light to this, because Be the Light was in my focal thought or something like that. And I had all of that, and I'm not sure. And I don't know if I need the bee. Let's check it and see how he looks up here. Maybe he could be cool in our page too. I think he can be. I'm going to add him too. I think he's all right. They look like, soldiers in the army. That's what the word talks about. Soldiers in the army. And when I thought about the lantern and I thought about the light that it brings, I was saying everything spiritual in my mind, like the knights, could be like angels or knights, Roman soldiers, that kind of thing. All of that was coming to me in some kind of way. So I just said, okay, this keeps it in a biblical sense. Be what? Be the light. So I'm going to leave that be over there, and I'm just going to let this be captain or general, and then he works under him. And that's kind of what I got for this page. That's my idea. Okay? And I'm going to write the scripture right here. And the scripture is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27. And it reads, "The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart." Okay? So I'm going to write that here. Just trying to keep the peach, for the focal point. This is not true peach, but it's, what I'm saying, it's close. So we will go with this, and we will write the spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching. Gel pens always skip. You can count on it. Searching all the inner depths of his heart. Okay? And then I will add Proverbs Proverbs 20:27, and this one was taken from the New King James Version of the Bible. Okay? And so that is our make today. We had to use focal point, a lantern. We had to use some type of acetate paper. I made a faux acetate. And we had to use the color peach. And what else we needed? Our scripture and music paper. So this already has the music paper incorporated in it. We added a little piece there. So we have all of our images and things in place. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will comment on it. Let me know how much you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel, or at least consider subscribing. You have to come back and watch more videos, or go back and watch some previous ones, and maybe you will want to subscribe and join this channel family over here. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.